viewers, welcome to your channel Pharmacypedia. This is Dr. Shikha Chauhan, and in this session we are going to discuss about the cohort studies. This is in continuation to our lecture series on biostatistics and research methodology for BPharm final year students. So my dear students, if you have still not subscribed to my channel Pharmacypedia, please do like, share and subscribe to Pharmacypedia for getting important contents and updates related to pharmacy. So this topic, cohort studies, have been taken from Unit 3 of Biostatistics and Research Methodology. So let us first try to understand cohorts. Cohorts basically refer to group of individuals which have a common characteristics. So here we are talking about the experimental studies, we are talking about the cohort studies. Cohort studies are one type of the study, experimental studies, which are basically analytical in nature. Analytical means when you try to identify, when you try to determine how something happened and why something happened. So the specialty with the cohort is that it is always a prospective study. When I say prospective study, it simply means that it is going in the forward direction. There is a exposure and cause and effect relationship in the cohort study. So if you see this picture, in this you can see there are a group of individuals in the cohort type studies whereby when they are being exposed, these people have something in common. So for example, alcohol, people drinking alcohol or consuming alcohol, then after some time we compare the prevalence of some sort of disease, for example, cancer in people. So like the incidence, once they have been exposed to regular alcohol consumption, then how many people develop the disease? So we are comparing with the people who have been exposed with alcohol to the people which we are not exposed to the alcohol, and we are checking the prevalence rate. So you can see that they have one thing in common, that they were drinking alcohol. So similarly, cohort type studies are very useful in determining the prevalence rate of any disease, or when a certain group of population is exposed to some sort, and we are trying to explore the cause and effect relationships. Whereas this does not happen in the case of case control studies. So there is no exposures involved prior, and then how the disease have inculcated out. So in cohort type studies are specifically developed on the individuals which have something in common. So the exposure is provided to these common people for, and then the rate of prevalence, rate of happening of the disease is being calculated out. Now, when we talk about the cohort, like cohort can be in different ways. For example, birth cohort. Birth cohort refer to the people who are born in the same time period. So they have the same time period whereby they are being born out. Or inception cohort. Inception cohort basically refers to the people who are assembled at a given point based on some factor. Or exposure cohort. Exposure cohort simply means we design the experiments based on some sort of the common exposure, radiations being provided to a group of individuals. So when we try to understand the cohort designing, it is very simple. We are designing the study whereby we are exposing the people, a certain group of people, with a certain factor, and in another group this factor is absent. For example, I am trying to explore the people who, or the students who are having the hypertension, and the people who during the examination days, or like the people who are having the stress build up during the exam. So these people have one thing in common, that they during the examination period we are checking out the prevalence of the disease. So the people who develop the disease, we can get an overview how many of them actually develop the disease. Okay. So in a simple way, this is like an analytical control whereby exposures is being provided to the people, and we keep a control. Control means that sort of the condition is not with the, so that there is an adequate comparison with the people who have been exposed and people who have not been exposed. Then we interpret the result, then we analyze the result to understand how many people develop the disease. So what is the purpose of doing the cohort studies? The cohort studies are analytical in nature. So when we try to understand, to analyze the association between the rates of outcomes and the risk factors. So my dear student, this simple diagram will explain you that cohort studies are longitudinal analytical studies whereby group of individuals are being exposed to certain factors, and then after follow up with the time, after some time in this population, we understand how many of them develop the disease, how many of people don't develop the disease, what is the percentage ratio, what is the prevalence rate. So it is very simple to understand. For example, we are checking the heart rate of the people who are doing cycling. So the exposure is the cycling, and then we are checking the heart rate, or we are checking the cardiovascular disease development for the people who are doing the cycling. So in both these factors, we are first exposing it to the population, and then we are analyzing the result after some time with regular follow-up. So when we talk about, like in this example, there is a smoker. So after follow-up time, we are checking how many of them do develop the cancer. Or like when we are compared with the non-smoker group, how many of them don't develop the cancer. So there are many examples of cohort studies whereby we can compare the obese and the lean people, how many of them disease after a certain follow-up period time. For example, after 2 years, the study started in 2010, and then 2015, we are analyzing when these people were exposed to this particular issue, how many of them developed the disease, how many didn't develop the disease, and what is the analytical association between these two factors. So talking about the design can be in different forms. So cohort analysis is basically a subset of behavioral analytics that takes the data from the given data set rather than looking at all the users at one point. So it is after a certain interval of time, with the time frame keeping in the mind, we try to analyze the association between the two factors. Talking about the types of the studies, basically there are two types. So the first is the prospective type and second is the retrospective type. So when we talk about the prospective type, we simply mean that we are giving the exposure once the study has started out. So once the study had started, the exposure is being given, and after a certain period of time, we are seeing the outcome. We are seeing the prevalence. We are seeing the number of incidents of the disease development. Whereby in the retrospective retrospective cohort studies, retro means through referring to the back. So we are looking back that these people in the past were being exposed and now they have developed the disease. So like exposure is before the starting of your initiation of the study. So retrospective simply means looking back into the data and trying to analyze and interpret the association between these two factors. So in the prospective study, you can say the first exposure is being provided out, then you later on, after follow-up with the time, you get the outcomes, and then you try to analyze these two factors and try to interpret them. Whereas in the retrospective study, the exposure has been provided in the past. So now you're analyzing the outcome for the exposure which have been already provided in the past. So it is just like looking back into the past and then trying to analyze. So like for the prospective cohort study means looking forward, and retrospective cohort study means looking backward. So when we have the study population, we have one group which is the exposed group and another group which is the unexposed group. For the exposed group, we are trying to identify what is the event development, what set of the people have developed the disease, what set of the people have not developed the disease. So what is the event group and non-event group? Event means anything which is being happening out or the factor which we are being analyzing. So further, like in the cohort studies, it is time-linked studies. Why time-linked? Because we see at what time the study was initiated, and after some time, after with the follow-up time, what was the outcome. Similarly, in the retrospective study, we see the time frame back, looking back. So in the 2009, what happened when the exposure was provided, and what is happening in 2019. So the study can further be classified like single group cohort study, whereby we take only a single group. So if we analyze a single factor. So the most commonly used cohort method is single group cohort, also known as the inception cohort. So in this method, only one group patient will be selected for the study, and all individuals assembled at a given time point based on some factors like disease condition. Then second is the double group cohort study. As the name indicate, double group cohort, it simply means that we are taking two groups, and then we are comparing the outcomes based on the exposure is being measured. So based on the initiation of the study. So double group cohort study and retrospective nested cohort study, it can be like prospective classic cohort. Prospective means looking forward, retrospective means looking into the past and trying to analyze the two factors. Now talking about the ambispective, this is another new version whereby we take the combination of both retrospective as well as the prospective cohort study designs. So it is being created at the time of study initiation, but exposure is done in the past and outcomes are measured for both past and future. So this is again another example of retrospective study whereby we are looking back at the time and seeing how many of the people developed the disease as compared to the another control group. Now let us try to understand and summarize what are the main critical indicators of the cohort studies. First of all, cohort studies are performed with the group of people which have something common characteristics. They are always followed up with the time. They are basically divided into two types: prospective and retrospective. Prospective means looking forward, and retrospective means looking back into the time when the exposure was given before the initiation of the study. So, and always there is a strong association between the cause and the effect, which is established by any observational study. So, and one more important factor is that when the exposure is rare, but incidence of disease among exposed is high, then this sort of studies involve a lot of expensive also. When people attrition can be minimized, the main disadvantage with the cohort study is that people live in between, and then it becomes difficult to interpret and analyze the study. And you require an ample number of resources to complete the study. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe to Pharmacypedia for getting further important content related to biostatistics. In my next video, I'm going to share further about the design methodology. Till then, stay tuned, stay happy. Thank you so much, everyone.